Well, good morning, everyone, and once again, welcome to Mornings with Marilyn. Some of you are probably very aware of my little book, Instructions from the Great Physician. I've actually sold over, I'm going to say at least 5,000 of these books. And I'm excited about what I'm going to tell you next. I'm going to do a book study on using this little book, Instructions from the Great Physician. And so I actually have my email address there on the site. If you would like to partake in that class, it's going to be, I'm either going to do 2 sessions for 60 minutes or maybe a 90-minute session. But I'm going to go over this book with you. We're going to do a book study. And I just want to read a couple of these chapters. The first one is following instructions. You know, it is so important that we actually follow the entire instructions. You know, recently I had put together a bookshelf. And, you know, it all comes in parts. You have to put it together. You have to assemble it yourself. That's not my favorite thing. But they do mark every item. Like there's one board is board A, and then you've got board B, and then you've got C, D, and E. And I can't just take the board A and I think, well, I know what B is. I'll just go on to C. No, you can't skip putting the B board to connect it to the A board. You've got to put them all together. Well, I've noticed in people's mind, they think, well, I know that part, so they will skip something. You can't skip something. God has instructions. It talks about it in Proverbs chapter 4. It says, take firm hold, take a solid grip on instructions. So it's critical that you take every step of the instructions. You can't skip one of the steps. And I just felt in my heart to do a book study with you. We're going to go through the book, and this is a mini book. But again, I've sold probably over 5,000 of these books. It went #1 on Amazon a few years ago. But we've got to go over following instructions. And then the second chapter is, how do I take God's medicine? Well, when you go to the doctor and he gives you a prescription and you go to the pharmacy and you fill it out, well, there's a label on that bottle or the envelope telling you how to take the medicine. You need to understand you have to do it step by step. It might say take 1 3 times a day. It might say take 2 of them every other hour. I mean, instructions are different for everything. So you need to follow the instructions. And you need to know how to take the medicine. There's instructions on how to take the medicine. So we have a whole chapter on that. And then number 3, number 1 is to guard your heart. It is so easy to, well, we live in 2 realms, the natural realm and the spiritual realm. And we know the spiritual realm needs to dominate. You are a spirit, you have a soul, and you have a body. Well, your soul is your mind and your emotions. But the spirit man has got to dominate over the mind, over those emotions. But when you go to the doctor and the symptoms were worse and the negative reports just keep flooding in, it's easy to get into the spirit or into the natural realm and get into fear, but you can't go there because fear is the enemy of your faith and it will contaminate your faith. And the Bible says that we have to walk by faith. We have to live by faith. And what does that mean, faith? It means we have to trust in what God says in his word, and we have to put our trust in his instructions, because you can be sure God's instructions will not fail. So I'm excited about this book study. It's going to be awesome. I did one a couple years ago on my book, Guidelines Praying for the Sick. I might do another one of those. And then having that bulldog tenacity, because when those negative symptoms get worse and those negative reports keep flooding in and the tumor keeps growing, we have to know how to have that bulldog tenacity that you refuse to be defeated. You think about Joshua and Caleb, 12 spies, and those are the only two out of 12 that entered the promised land because they refused the evil report. They guarded their heart, even when they saw the giants in the land. They guarded their heart, and they entered into the promised land. And they received the promises and the blessings of the Lord. But they had to guard their heart. You think about Abraham when he was told to sacrifice his only son, Isaac. You better believe he had to guard his heart and somehow just trust, walk by faith. He had to have full trust that somehow God is going to step in and do something that he will still have Isaac alive after he sacrificed him. He doesn't know how God's going to do that, but he knows somehow, Lord, I know you're going to do it. I can remember that in the financial realm. I said, Lord, I don't know how you're going to do this, but you said that you're going to supply all of my needs, and so I'm moving forward, and God supply, and he will do it in a way that you had no idea that he would have done it that way. It's just amazing. But it's just that level of trust, and you have to, the more you exercise your faith, the trust level will get higher and higher and higher. Your faith will get stronger and stronger and stronger. So I'm going to be sending out an email regarding the book study. And I want you, if I have my email address there on the site, email me and tell me, I want to receive the notice of the book study. You don't want to miss it. So God bless you. And tomorrow is the 4th of July, so have a very wonderful holiday weekend. God bless you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.